Now we will go over some examples of common mistakes that are made while cataloging materials. As you view the examples, have your handbook open to Appendix C to determine if the example entries are valid. Each of the smaller tables within Appendix C lists the only valid object and material options for each given material class. For example, in the page presented here from Appendix C, you can notice the bone modified material class cannot include a long bone object because that is only an appropriate option for the bone unmodified material class below. Feel free to pause the video before you guess the error on each of the following pages. As you view the next four catalog examples, take a moment to check whether the material class, object type, and material line up correctly by referring to Appendix C when necessary. Here is an example of a donut stone. Can you spot the error in the catalog record? This is clearly a donut-shaped stone, and per Appendix C, donut stone comes from the ground stone and not chipstone material class. Here we can see a tooth from an adult grizzly bear. Do you see any errors? The material class actually needs to be formatted as bone, unmodified, and the material type should be mammal, large, due to the background information of the item being from a grizzly bear, which is a larger mammal. This is a tool with both a smooth and sharp side for cutting objects. The material class is actually chipstone and not groundstone because groundstone tools typically do not have sharp edges, whereas most chipstone tools do have a sharp edge. The object type is not a handstone, but a chopper, based on it containing both a smooth side and a sharp side for cutting materials. This is a whole object that is of biologic origin. The material class is shell, unmodified because the material is actually a crab shell. This groundstone bowl-shaped object has a long grinding tool inside of it. Can you spot whether object A and object B are the correct terms? This groundstone mortar has a pestle and not a mano, because a mano would be more round or egg-shaped and a pestle is more cylindrically shaped. Here we can see a fragment with no evidence of minerals. This is actually not chipstone and is rather stone, other because there is no evidence of flint knapping. The material is not siltstone because it is not thin or with a fine texture. Here we can see a bag containing bulk chipped stone. Bulk material must always be recorded as a quantity of 1, and weight needs to be recorded to the nearest tenth of a gram. This projectile point has a non-granular smooth surface. Here we have a projectile point and not a fragment because it is fully intact. The material type is chert because it is waxy and fine-grained, and not quartzite because quartzite has medium-sized grains. Objects A and B are groundstone artifacts that can be used together for grinding seeds or grain. The terms are actually reversed. The mono, which is 4 letters, is the object that can be held in a person's hand, which is also a 4-letter word. The metate is the flat base stone for doing the grinding. This chipstone artifact shows evidence of stone bruising. The object is actually a hammerstone and not a chopper. Choppers typically have sharp edges and do not show evidence of stone bruising from percussive impact. The material type is quartzite and not basalt because quartzite often has a sugary appearance and medium-sized